Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and I'm the Parent Support Worker for the Niagara Catholic District School Board Early On Chum Family Center. Today we are going to be highlighting the key points from Chapter 8 called The Context for Developing Self-Regulation from Dr. Jean Clinton's book, Love-Built Brains. At last, we have finally made it to self-regulation. This has been a concept that's been touched upon within previous chapters, and it is an integral part of understanding your child's development, and therefore will be incredibly helpful in offering them the very best support that you love and support that you can. So I'm going to start with a wonderful description of self-regulation offered by Dr. Jean. So self-regulation is becoming the boss of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So that's awesome. You are becoming the boss of your own feelings, right? It's something that begins developing in the early years but continues throughout life. Even some adults need to work on their self-regulation, and you'll see this in cases of road rage. The importance in knowing that developing self-regulation is a lifelong journey is to remember that the child's environment and relationships is going to influence their self-regulation even beyond the years that they are residing in your home. And self-regulation is more than just self-control. It's not just swallowing your anger when someone cuts you off the highway. That's inhibition. It's inhibiting an impulse. Self-regulation requires that same action of inhibition, but alongside that action comes the ability to understand why you shouldn't scream at that car. And you can ask yourself in these moments how your anger at this driver is going to affect other people, and that will influence the decision that you make. So I quote Dr. Jean here as I say, if children learn to self-regulate, to be the boss of their own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, by first being co-regulated, then adults need to understand where children's behavior comes from and realize that a child's behavior is due to their developing capacities. So what's a parent to do? Dr. Jean reminds us that there is no perfect parent. You can't be an expert in parenting because once you have your next kid, your second, third, fourth, or fifth, you have to start all over in your parenting style as you learn your new child's temperament and unique needs. But what Dr. Jean does offer is a nice analogy to consider our role as parents. And she got this analogy from a book by Dr. Alison Gopnik, which she asks of us is to consider whether or not we see ourselves as a carpenter, so someone who takes wood and decides in advance what they want to make, someone who hopes to produce a particular outcome using your tools. Or do you see yourself as a gardener, someone who examines the soil and wonders how to create a space where the flowers can flourish? A carpenter parent might expect to have a well-behaved child who holds the right beliefs because this is what you've molded or taught them to be. Whereas a gardener parent might focus on just providing their children with an environment that nurtures them, continuously assessing the environment to adapt to fit the needs of the child in the best way possible. So I give you a moment to really think about that. Good. So Dr. Jean notes here that many parents want to be gardeners. And if you're listening and agree, I'm sure you're nodding in your head like, yep, that's me. But she also notes here that despite wanting to be a gardener, parents often spend a lot of time doing carpentry. And we've talked about this idea in weeks past, this idea that we spend more time filling the bucket than actually igniting the flame to learn. We're essentially giving our kids all of the tools, but we aren't exactly letting them lead the way. So we'll focus in on why this is important for the development of self-regulation. But Dr. Jean reminds us here again that we should focus on progress, not perfection. People will do the very best with what they have or with what they know, and there will be days when you are a carpenter, and that's okay too. So, an adult's role in their child's development of self regulation is tightly intertwined with the attachment between child and caregiver. The parent and caregiver needs to be able to begin that regulation by reading their baby's cues or signs and offering that nurturing, positive, and warm interaction. Now, it's important to note here that reading our children's signs and cues is not always going to be easy or approachable by all families. Especially, Dr. Jean says, if your child has autism, for example, many parents are looking for like smiles and giggles from their infant to confirm that it is a pleasant interaction, but these reactions might be absent for a child with autism. But whether you are getting these confirmations back or not, it's important to remember that regardless of their response, the social send and receive messaging is still forming in those little brains of theirs, thus making relationships a key in encouraging our kids' development of self-regulation. And once babies and toddlers feel secure and safe with their adult caregivers, they begin to explore the world around them to discover these aspects of themselves. And by the age of 3, they'll be able to label the emotions they are feeling in an act of self-regulation instead of the formerly known co-regulation, which was having help from you in identifying those emotions. But they're going to continue needing your support with self-regulation well into adolescence. In addition to understanding and labeling emotions, Dr. Jean references the work of Stuart Shanker, which emphasizes the connection between self-regulation and stress management. So remember that mantra we've used in the past where stress behavior is not misbehavior, right? So Stuart Shanker outlines 5 steps parents can take to help with the development of self-regulation. Number 1 is to read and reframe the behavior. Number 2 is to recognize the stressors. Number 3 is to reduce the stressors. Number 4 is to reflect and develop self-awareness. And number 5 is to respond with self-regulation strategies that promote growth and restoration. So these steps require that you recognize behavior as communication. So let's say your child is having a meltdown in a grocery store because they want a chocolate bar. Although you might have been advised in the past to ignore that behavior, Shanker would actually encourage you to recognize the meltdown to be a stress behavior, not a misbehavior. And if you can do this, then you're going to consider, what is the stressor? What is causing this meltdown in the grocery store right now? Perhaps in this case, it's hunger. So maybe we can offer them a snack that we have with us. Alter that hunger with something other than the chocolate bar they want off the shelf. And then once you get home, you can reflect on the situation and help the child recognize what was wrong in that moment and how the child was able to handle being hungry without having that specific chocolate bar. And then finally, once your child is calm, you can offer a strategy that they might use instead of the meltdown in future situations, like taking 5 deep breaths. And in scenarios where the reason for the meltdown is less apparent, Shanker suggests we assess for stressors on 5 different domains. So we have to ask ourselves, is our child experiencing a biological stressor? So are they tired? Are they hungry? Are they sick? Is it an emotional stressor? Are they maybe disappointed? Or they don't want to try something new right now? Is it cognitive? So is my child struggling with their homework or feeling overwhelmed? Is it social? Is my child feeling lonely? Or is it pro-social? Is my child worrying about their friend or their grandparents? Are they tired of taking turns with their siblings? At the end of the day, whichever strategy you need to figure out why your child is behaving in a certain way. So I want you to remember why exactly you're doing it. Why should you slow down and consider what's going on inside for the child when they are making you feel like having a meltdown yourself? So your child needs your help in regulating these emotions. It will take time to understand that, sometimes food needs to wait, or sometimes we have to do things that we aren't used to or that we don't want to. Your job to co-regulate and also help your child understand his or her emotions. But your job is also to ensure that your child feels safe and loved. If you'd like to learn more, I'm going to link the work of Dr. Stuart Shanker within this summary. It is obviously a lot of information, so I invite you to leave a comment if you have any questions regarding self-regulation. But that is it for this week, so I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you soon.